If you're looking for a more mild grille guard for your 2020 or newer HD Silverado 25 or 3500, this AR pre-runner grille guard in matte black is a solid choice to consider. Now this is perfect for the HD Silverado owner who is looking for front end protection for their truck, who wants to keep their front bumper, and wants to easily add a tough layer of protection to the front end for whatever driving style that you have. Now this has the coverage of a grille guard with the bull bar type styling, making it a unique choice that's functional and of course good looking, while also being a more cost-effective choice if you're looking to save a few bucks. This has the angular and more aggressive looking pre-runner style design, being more compact than the average full coverage grille guard, while also still covering a good portion of the front end with the large bull bar up top or overrider bar, extended wings in front of the headlights, and the center support section. Now these vertical uprights here offer some outward protection for the truck, allowing you to come into contact with any hazards before your Silverado does, and the strong upper and lower center sections offer a lot of good support and additional coverage. This also includes pre-drilled holes for auxiliary lighting right up on top in the center cross section here, perfect for fog lights, light bars, or whatever your imagination comes up with, allowing you to customize this setup further. Now this is made of a heavy-duty tubular and plate steel construction, being tough enough to get through whatever brush or obstacles needed without faltering. Now this also has a 3-stage rust-resistant matte black powder coating on top to, of course, resist rust and add more of a tough appearance to your Silverado. Now this kit also comes with all of the hardware necessary in order to piece this together, since it is a modular setup as you can see here, and the brackets to install it for a drill-free installation process. This is about $800, and as I said, it makes it one of the more affordable choices for a grille guard. Now one of the reasons being is the size of this guard compared to others, having a more no-fuss style build and taking more of the pre-runner compact and minimal style approach compared to other larger traditional choices. Now it's a perfect solution for the front of your HD if you're looking for a grille guard that has a sharp and stylish look, a quality build, and one that doesn't lack in quality while doing it. Now it's a perfect solution for the front of your HD when you're looking for protection if you're in search of a grille guard that has a sharp, stylish look, a quality build, and will save you a few bucks in the long run. Now this is a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and it should take about 2 hours or so to piece this together and get it mounted up to your truck. So at this point, I'm gonna hand it over to one of our installers here. They're gonna show you a detailed breakdown on how to do that step by step. So that wraps it up for what I have to say. Let's go ahead and get into the install.
For this install, you will need a ratchet, various size impacts, 1/4 inch to 3/8 adapter if necessary, T15 Torx bit, 5 and 6 millimeter Allen sockets, a panel removal tool, 7, 10, 15, 18, 19 millimeter sockets and 19 mil swivel socket, a clip removal tool, an extension, a magnet, 18 millimeter open end and closed end wrenches, and a 19 millimeter wrench. Also not shown here is a floor jack or an extra set of hands. What's up guys, today we're going to be installing a grille guard on our Silverado, so let's get started. Alright, so the first thing we've done is we've got our hood open. Now we need to remove our upper radiator cover as well as our grille, but in order to do that we need to remove our hood latch release handle. That's held in by these 2 T15 Torx screws, so we've got our T15 Torx bit and we'll pop those off and remove our handle. That out, we can set this aside. Now we can remove all of our push clips holding our shroud in place with our clip removal tool. Now that we have our clips out, we'll pull our shroud up and out of the way. Next we'll need to remove the lower trim in front of our headlights, and in order to do that we need to come to our inner fender liner and remove the 2 T15 Torx screws right here on the inside and pop our fender flare out so we can access the 7 millimeter screw behind this, and then we'll pop this out. Then we'll take our T15 Torx bit and remove these. Once we have those out, grab onto our flare, pop the front section out. Now we can access this 7mm screw. So we've got a 7mm socket. We'll pull that off and then we'll be able to remove our trim. Now to get our trim off, we're going to pull it out from the side and release our clips up here. And then we'll pull it around from the front and release the clips around here and the bottom. Then once you have this side off, you can do the same thing for the other side. Next, we can remove these 6 10mm screws holding our grill in place. So we've got 2 down bottom and then we've got 4 up top. So we'll remove these 2 first, go up top, remove the upper 4, and then we can pull our grill off. So once you've got this one off, you can do the same thing for the other side, then we'll go up top. Now we'll remove our 4 upper screws. Now we can remove our grill, so we're going to grab it from the bottom, gently pull out, release the tabs, then you'll need to pull up, release your grill, set it aside. Next we're going to need to remove the top mounting bolts for our bumper. They're the ones facing up towards you. They're 18mm. There's going to be one on this side and then one over here. They're kind of just tucked down in here. So we're going to grab our 18mm swivel socket extension and pull those off. Now once you've got your first one off, you can do the same thing for the other side. So now in order for the bracketry we're going to install at those bolt holes to clear, we're either going to have to trim or cut this plastic trim piece. For demonstration purposes, we're just going to remove ours. If you would like to retain this, you'll just have to cut out a notch so that your bracket will fit at home. Now this is held in by some clips, so we're just going to grab a body tool, pop this off, and remove it real quick. Then you'll definitely want to wipe this off because it usually accumulates some dirt, as you can see. So our next step is going to be to remove our bumper itself. Now this bumper is held in by 4 18mm bolts up top and then 2 15mm bolts on the outer edges of our brackets behind the bumper. So we're going to get these 4 18mm first. You will need an extension for this bottom one, and a helpful tool would be a magnet to grab it out of there. And then we'll go down bottom and get our bottom bolts, and then we can pull our bumper off. So we'll get our lower bolt first. We've got our 18mm swivel socket extension. It's going to be straight down in this recess. And we can loosen up our upper one. We're going to use our magnet to retrieve that lower bolt. And once you have these 2 out, you can do the same thing for the other 2. So now we can use our 15mm socket to remove this last bolt. And you can do the same thing for the other side. All right, so now that we have all of our bolts out, we can pull our bumper out and set it aside. You want to make sure to have 2 hands on this. It is a little heavy. You can scoot it out. And we'll set this aside. Next, we need to remove the hardware for our tow hooks. Now we're not getting rid of our tow hooks, but we do need to mount our lower brackets here, so we need to remove the hardware. So we've got our 18mm socket on our impact and an 18mm wrench. We'll pop these 2 off. Port our hook, pull our 2 bolts out. We'll set this right down here for now. Now once you have this side out, you can do the same thing for the other side. So now we can begin installing our lower mounting brackets. So what we're going to do is grab one of those factory tow hook bolts. We're going to grab our passenger side main bracket. That's going to go to the outside of your tow hook mounting point. We're going to slide a bolt through. We're going to grab our tow hook. We're going to line this back up. We'll send that bolt through. Just like so. And we'll get our other bolt. We'll bring these up. I'm going to get that all the way through. And on the back side of that, we're going to add our lower support bracket. These are labeled for passenger and driver. That's going to go on to those 2 bolts. sure that's all the way through. Then we're going to reuse our factory nuts. Then to tie these together at the bottom support point, we're going to grab one of our provided bolts and flat washers. We're going to get this through this hole. And we're going to install a flat washer and lock nut on the other side. Now you want to leave all this loose for now, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Now we can slide our front bumper back into place. Be mindful of your tow hook openings. If you do need to trim them, you can. Now as we reinstall our bumper mounting hardware, we're going to install our upper support brackets. Again, these are labeled for passenger and driver side. So we'll take our factory bolt, going to go into this upper one where we remove that trim. Get this bolt loosely in place. Then we'll do the same thing for the other side. We'll come back and tighten down the rest of our hardware and install our outer bolts. We're going to leave these hand tight for now to allow for adjustments. Now once again, we're going to use our magnet to get these lower bolts reinstalled and started. This is a very effective way to do it. You might need to push in on your bumper a hair. Now you'll know when they start because you'll be able to pull your magnet up without pulling the bolt back out. Now we'll do the same thing for the other side. Now we're going to bring back our 18mm swivel socket and extension and tighten down those two lower bolts. And we'll do the same thing for the other side. Now we can reinstall our outer 15mm bolts. Tighten that back down with our 15mm socket. And we'll do the same thing for the other side. Now we can install our bottom brackets to our lower mounting bracket. So we've got our provided bolts, flat washers, and lock nuts. We're going to get these in place. And once you have this one loosely installed, you can do the same thing for the other side. So now we're going to set our main hoop onto our bracketry. We're going to get these two situated first. So we've got our provided bolts and flat washers. Now we do have the main hoop sitting on. We have a stool. If you only have a floor jack or an extra set of hands, you can do that. We're going to slide this into place. Nice thing about this is it's adjustable. We'll get this into position. We just want to get these bolts in first. We're going to come through this back mounting point, and on the back side of that hardware we're going to grab a flat washer and lock nut. We'll just loosely get that in place for now. Then we'll do the same thing for the other side. Now we'll get our lower mounting bolts in the same way through these two mounting holes here. Get this one in, get our flat washer, lock nut on the back side. Same thing for this one. And we can do the same thing for the other side. So now that we have this safely in position, what we're going to do is install our sidebars. Now to do that, we need to remove this bolt. That's why we kept it loose. We'll take this out. We'll set this aside for just a second. We're going to get this in position in the 4 mounting holes that are pre-threaded. We'll grab our provided Allen head bolt with lock washer and flat washer. I'm going to top one in first, followed by a bottom one. And we'll get our other 2 in next. And once we have all 4 of those loosely installed, we can reinstall our mounting bolt. And once we have this side loosely in place, we'll do the same thing for the other side. Now we can install our top hoops. That's going to line up with the threaded inserts on each of our sidebars. Just like so. And we can install our 2 provided Allen head bolts on each mounting point. And we have one on the back side as well. It's the same exact thing as the front. And we'll do the same thing for the other side. All right, so now that we have everything loosely in place, we can start tightening everything down and getting our grill guard in the position we want it to be in. So you can make a few adjustments. The first 2 bolts we want to tighten down are these 2 18mm factory bolts. That's going to kind of bring those brackets up and set it in a good spot. So we'll grab our 18mm socket on our impact and tighten those 2 down first. Now that we have those 2 tight, we're going to go back underneath and tighten down our factory tow hook bolts as well as that bottom bolt and nut, tying our 2 brackets together. So now we're underneath the bumper at our factory tow hooks. So we're going to use our 18mm socket and wrench to tighten down our 2 factory tow hook bolts. Then we're going to use our 18mm socket with an extension and a 19mm wrench to tighten down this bottom bolt and nut that tie the 2 brackets together. Get these 2 first. Then once you have this side tight, you can do the same thing for the other side. Now we're going to tighten down the 2 bolts tying our bottom support bracket to our main bracket. For that, we're going to use our 19mm socket and extension and our 18mm wrench. It's best to come from underneath on these. Now you will need an open-ended wrench for this front one. It's pretty close to your tow hook. Now for the rear bolt, you're going to need an 18mm swivel socket and extension and your 19mm wrench. Then we can do the same thing for the other side. Next, we can tighten down these 2 support bolts with our 18mm socket and 19mm wrench. And you can do the same thing for the other side. Next, we can tighten down our upper support bolts, again with our 18mm wrench and our 19mm socket and extension. Then you can do the same thing for the other side. Now we're going to tighten down our 4 accessory bar bolts with our 6mm Allen head socket. Then you can do the same thing for the other side. Lastly, we'll tighten down our 2 crossbar Allen head bolts with our 5mm Allen socket. And you can do the same thing for the other side. Now we can reinstall our grill. We're going to lift this over our grill cover. Get it lined back up. Give this a nice push to lock our tabs back in. We'll come back in and reinstall all 6 of our 10mm bolts, our 2 down bottom and our 4 up top. We'll get our bottom ones in first. Then you can install your other bottom 10mm and we'll come in and install our 4 up top. Now while we're right here, we're going to reinstall our upper shroud. So we'll get this back in place and we'll reinstall all the push clips. Next we'll reinstall our hood latch handle. Slide this back into place. Get our 2 T15 Torx screws back in. We'll tighten those back down with our T15 Torx bit. Next we can reinstall our headlight fascia trim. It's So this does have a little grommet on the bottom of it, so you kind of have to like slide that in under the headlight, like so. That'll make it go in a lot easier. And we'll line this side up. Push that back into place. We can reinstall our 7mm screw. Once you have that in, pop our flare back in. Now we can reinstall our 2 T15 torque screws for our fender liner. And once you have this side all back together, you can do the same thing for the other side. Alrighty folks, that about wraps up our review and install of our AR pre-runner grill guard in matte black finish for your 20 to current Silverado 2500 and 3500 HD. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Silverado, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.